There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. Trying to get everything situated here. Um, oh. Hold on. I think I got everything here. Okay. I think I got everything clicked on and all that good stuff. Just want to be sure. I'm going to do one more test. So bear with me for a moment when I go through this right quick. Just want to make sure that my YouTube is still live at least. So I just want to make sure that that's going on. So, yeah. So testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Just want to make sure that's. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good to go. Oh, good afternoon. Well, late afternoon, evening, morning, all that good jazz. Wherever you are in the world, we're going to be doing. We are here, and happy New Year to everyone. This is our first Monday rant and discussion for the new year. I happen to be House that Speaks and coming to you live from the Chi-Town, Chicago, and I want everybody to welcome everybody in. For those who are on Facebook, X, and Twitch, welcome in. I appreciate you coming in. Just want to make sure that everybody's here on the search. So today we're going to discuss. Let me put my face on here before we start with discussion here. Okay, today, since I'm starting my music production journey, I thought that I will share that with you guys and get you a couple of nuances on the process. Now, I'm, I haven't really full blown started yet. I'm still looking on a couple of things on YouTube, but I do have everything in readiness. I have the speakers, I have the headphones, I have the DAW, which I'll be discussing that, which is I'm be using Ableton 12, which is the latest one that's out, and I'll probably be using some plugins and things of that nature, you know. But like I said, I'll be watching a couple tutorials on music production. I'm pretty much going to go through the same process as I went through when I was learning how to DJ. So so I'm just gonna go through the same process. So for those who's trying to get into music production as well this year, I would like to share a couple of things with you so we can both, be in the same sheet of music and we can go through the process together. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you hit the notification bell when you know that I will be doing another Monday rant and discussion. So without further ado, let's get to the presentation. Okay, what steps should one take to proceed in music production in 2026? Now, if you're a DJ who has thought about dipping your toes in music production, or you are a music producer in the making, and you're want to and you're proceeding a little further, or if you have thought about doing music production, you really don't know where to start or how to start. I'm just gonna be throwing in the tidbits and the fundamentals of music production. How you proceed it from there is totally up to you. So that's how we're going to approach this. Okay? So let's do it. Okay. So this is a roadmap that I just wanted to present regarding music production, especially this year. Now, this definitely going to be tailored for not just this year, but but the years to come. But I really want fellow DJs who wants to get into music production to take heed for what I'm saying here. This is all research. I will be, as I experience it myself, I probably will be throwing some tidbits on on that, and probably make that into a discussion. But for right now, we're just gonna get into the procedures and the bare bones about it. Things you may know, things you may not know, but we're going to share together. Let's go. Okay. Now, the direction that you want to take in your production, you should have that thought out before you even touch gear, before you even went through your DAW, before you even bought any sort of gear regarding music production. You should have already been aware of where you want to go. You know, it depends on the genre that you want to focus on, whether it's house, tech house, minimum, you know, or techno, or you might want to dab yourself in drum and bass, or dubstep, hip hop, you know, things of that nature. So whatever your musical taste is, and I also would like to make a suggestion. If you are a DJ and you into music production and you are DJing a certain genre or a couple of genres, I will focus on that as your starting gate towards music production. I mean, me as an example, I'm going to be gearing towards house and mostly techno, and I probably will do the other things like melodic and stuff like that. But I'm mostly going to, you know, deal in some of the sub genres of house. I'm going to start with the ones that I'm favorite of and familiar with, and then I'm going to progress into the techno aspect. So that's gonna be my thing. Now, what are your goals when it comes to music production? You know, I mean, DJ tools, streaming release, sync license, content first. If you want to just do your production and blast it out to whatever social media, or if you're hoping that this will boost up your brand as far as getting a gig is concerned, you know, or if when you do your live streaming, you might want to play a couple of tracks that you created and see what your followers think of it, which will help tremendously because you definitely want feedback on your progress. What better way of doing that is to have people who's already following you in your stream to give you the feedback that you need. So, whatever route you want to go, just, make sure that you have that in mind already. Okay, let's do it. Okay, now, choosing a DAW. Okay, now, and now for those who don't know what does DAW means, let me make sure I make sure I let you know what exactly it means, so we can both be in the same page. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. This is pretty much your your ethos. This is the main thing. This is your actually your studio, your home studio, or if you have a professional studio, whatever the case may be. Your DAW is the place where you create your tracks, create your music. So now there are different types of DAWs that's out there. But my suggestion is whatever DAW you choose, make sure you just use that DAW. They said for at least a year. I'm going to say, as far as when you choose a DAW, make that be your main DAW that you use for all your music. But that also depends on what genre that you plan on producing. For instance, Ableton Live is mostly for house and underground dance music. Okay, you have FL Studio. It says fast beat creation. I think a lot of hip hop people and R&B people uses that. Logic Pro is for Mac users. So if you have a Mac, either desktop or laptop, Logic Pro would be the DAW to use for yourself. And then you also have a big win modular and Moam Sound Engineer. Okay, but as far as if you're into house and like I said underground music, Ableton is the one to use. It's like the main one. I mean, so that's you know what a DAW is. You know the typical types of DAWs to use, and they all serves its purpose. So keep that in mind. Okay, next. Okay, now you're going to start building your home studio. Now, just note that if you already have certain things in place, you probably don't need to spend too much money. For instance, if you already have a laptop or desktop, then you already have the tools needed, you know, for your home studio. You just have to install the DAW that you want to use. Just make certain that your both laptop and desktop fit the requirements of whatever DAW that you're going to use. That's number one. And I also like just make sure that whatever desktop or laptop that you use, make sure that the OS is updated. Make sure that if you're using a PC, that you're using Windows 11. If you're using Mac, whatever the Mac's operating system, the latest one, make sure that is installed in your either desktop or laptop. Okay. Like I said, the essentials, what we already discussed, desktop, laptop, auto interface. Now, auto interface, you probably don't need it right away because as long as you have headphones and a microphone, that's probably the things that you may need. But maybe somewhere down the line, if you probably need to get an auto face, I would get one. Um, Focusrite is the one that I use because I use that particular one for use for the autoface to use for my live streaming. So that's the one I love. So I would if I would use an autoface, that'll be the one I go to. But of course you have ambient and you got universal audio. But Focusrite has been out for many years, and they are try and true when it comes to autofaces. Okay, studio monitors, that's your speakers. Um, you can also get instead of the ones that's listening like Adam, uh, KRK, Yamaha, you can also get Mackie. I do have Mackie monitors right here. The ones that I'm using is Mackie, and I love them. They definitely serve the purpose. Okay, um, you close back headphones. Well, the headphones that I will be using will be the headphones that I have used for DJing, which is the Auto Technica. And those are studio type headphones to begin with. So, so by me having that in my possession, I didn't have to worry about purchasing another set of headphones. In fact, when the ears around the headphones was wearing out, I was able to replace that. So I only spent like maybe $20 to replace the ears of it, and then that was it. And I got new headphones, so I already have the headphones for that. And then mini controllers, which is keys or pads. It don't matter which one. And there's a lot of mini controllers that's out there. I will definitely do some research on your on. Um, the mini that I purchased, I went and purchased the M Audio, so that's the one that I have. But of course, there's um, many computers. If I were you, I will go to YouTube, type in mini controller on the search, and then start looking for tutorials, or start looking for channels that focus on actual mini controllers. So do that. Now, like I said, don't try to do too much, and definitely don't try to spend a ton of money on a big studio, because it's really not needed. Like I said, as long as you have a desktop and a laptop and speakers and headphones, all you have to do is just purchase the DAW and then install it, and you're ready to start your production. So just to keep that in mind. Next one. Okay, master core production skills. Now, there are ways to approach production. Now, you can purchase a course, and I don't knock anyone who wants to do that, who probably feel more comfortable in getting a course through a professional. But also, there's a lot of producers out there that has channels that will give you tutorials on certain ways of using certain genres of music. As a matter of fact, I pretty much saved a playlist, that save music production, and I've been looking through the tutorials on certain genres that I want to focus on as far as creating tracks. So I've been saving those, and those are the ones that I'll be using as far as when I get started on on tutorials. Now, okay, now just keep in mind, you know, the fun. Now, whatever DAW that you use, it automatically has a plethora of plugins and things of that nature that you can use as far as kicks, drums, hi hats, bass line. So it has those already, but that you can also, if you want, you can also get certain plugins that will specify certain genres that you want to focus on. It's just another way to streamline your production. You know, just remember, make sure you get your drum programming, you get your chords, your bass line, your EQ, compressing, sidechain, arrangement, which is intro, drop, um, reference tracks, House music lives and dies by groove, not complexities. Always, that's the one thing that on the last one is true about house music. If you don't, when just like as a DJ, if you are playing house music, if you don't feel it, then it's not going to be there. And that's the same attitude that you gotta have when you producing. Now you're on the other end of the perspective. You're not listening to other productions and playing their tracks. Now you're doing it yourself. So if you know that you don't feel what you're creating and it's a little off, make sure you tweak it and get it back to where you can feel it, because it has to match the rhythm no matter what. It has to do that, because if it doesn't do that, then it's, to me, it's not house. I'm just letting you know, it's just not. Okay, next one. Okay, this is the final advice. I slimmed this down. There is a lot of other information regarding this particular segment, but I streamlined it to the important spots because I didn't want to make it a long drawn segment, because otherwise, if I would have used the entire thing that I researched on, it probably would have took more. It definitely would have took more than 30 minutes, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to waste people's time, but I want to make sure I have the information. But don't worry, I will make sure that everything that I have found and researched will be in the description box below, so you don't have to worry about it. So, in 2026, people, for all my, producers, going to be producers, DJs who wants to be producers, those who wants to create the music that we love. Okay, you know, remember, you are creators first. Your technicians second. Now, if you're a DJ, which I am, you know, you already ahead of the curve. For those who are just starting out, just being a producer, yeah, you probably gonna it's probably gonna take you a little longer, but it's not impossible, because you can do the work, especially if you listen to different forms of music or if you're musically sound. Because I know some producers were learn certain instruments, as they was growing up, and that definitely helped them help them along with their production. But DJs like ourselves, who's trying to get into production, we already in the head of the curve for that. So so all you have to do is just focus on groove, consistency, and audience connection. So make sure that, and I'm saying this, because this goes for myself as well. You know, make sure that when I'm playing, make sure what I'm creating has a groove, and and it's for the rhythm and it's for the feeling. Make sure you got to be consistent with it, because it's not gonna happen all overnight. But the more consistent you are, your chances will be greater for you to make sure you get your stuff out there. And make sure your music connect with the audience. In other words, if you don't feel it and you play it, don't play it out to the audience. That's why I always try to get feedback to fellow producers. Now, I don't care what you say. If you're a DJ, you know somebody who both DJs and produce, or who just produce, and that's it. So just make sure you network with them. Let them know what you're planning on doing, and ask them, will they, assist you as far as if you send them a track that you complete or something like that. You know, you want their honest opinion. Make sure they give you their honest feedback. You don't want to be like, oh, it's good and stuff like that. Then you play it out and it suck. You don't want that. You want them to be open and honest, because it doesn't help you if they're not honest with you. Okay? So, you know, I mean, it's a good thing that I have a whew, a a plethora of those who both DJ and produce, so I can always come. I know I'll be able to come to them when I'm ready to present a track, and hopefully and I know that they will give me their honest feedback. So that's what you want. I think that's the last thing. Let me make sure. I think that's it. Yeah, it is. Let's come back here. Okay, this is an exciting time, everyone. For those who wants to do music production, this is, I hope I gave you at least an idea, an inkling of a sort of a blueprint as to what to expect, you know, producing and getting ready to becoming the producer that I know you can be and should be. So, like I said, it's kind of early, but that's okay. I didn't want to make this a long out thing. So, I'm just going to end it right here. Again, thank you so much for listening in. Thank you for those who join in. I appreciate your love and support as always. And again, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know that I am coming out with another Monday rant and discussion. Okay, this is House That Speaks, coming to you live from the Chi-Town, Chicago. Wish you all a happy work week. And, oh, by the way, tomorrow I will be playing my bi-monthly show, which is the Groove Garden. That will be 5 p.m. Central Time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be throwing some new disco and some Jack and House for you, which is tomorrow, which is Tuesday. And then Friday is when my monthly show coming out, which is called Sounds from the Shy. That's at www.54house.fm. That usually come on at 2 p.m. Central Time, and I think it's 9 p.m. CET time, 8 p.m. GMT time, and like I said, and 2 p.m. Central Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope that's right. But I will be posting the flyer all on my all on my social networks, so you'll have the correct information if I miss a time or schedule. Okay, again, thank you all for coming in, and as always, peace and love.